Hey, hey, welcome back. Hey, night owls, how you doing? AC 11D8, great to see you. Shout out to RS and Calm Seas and Travis and everyone who might show up in a bit. I hope you guys are doing great. So I was debating, am I doing a love story or am I doing a specific message? And I was not going to do the specific message because all I was picturing in my head is somebody who's just like sitting there. It seemed like on the edge of a bed and they're just sitting there like in thought, like almost frozen in thought, and like minutes are drifting by and they're just kind of like zoned out, like internally thinking. And I'm like, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know if this is good, positive, negative, if they're sleepy or what. And then I was like, I'll just do a love story, I won't mention this. And then instead I was like, well, that is the storyline though, so let's go ahead and do a specific message. All right, here we go. Eliana, great to see you. Decoded, Lulu, so great to see everybody tonight. All right, we got Strength card. And Violet and EM, if you're out there, shout out to you guys too. There's such a big group now. I can't immediately, there's so many names to call out as the Night Owl Club, you guys. We got the Strength card though. So if somebody's sitting there thinking about whatever it may be, and I felt like they were sitting on the edge of a bed, I did not feel like it was a feminine, I will say that. Are they thinking about her? Is she out there kind of running wild? Is she like the person who runs through their mind? This is very powerful feminine. She is someone who's got a lot of determination. This is somebody who she's up for the difficult tasks in life. She could have long hair. She could have a certain, like, there's something about her that is reminiscent of, like, you know, how the horse's mane is wild and flying in the wind. And then she has her hair wild and flying in the wind. Maybe they have a vivid memory of her, like, standing in the wind. Maybe there's just a sense of, like, power and grace to her. But she could be a Leo. She could be somebody that someone is just really thinking about, focusing on right now, but I don't know why. What does this mean? Why are you sitting kind of in stillness? We have a King of Swords sideways. Okay, I'm glad I actually went ahead and was like, I don't know if this is enough of a storyline to start with, but I always do the specific messages if an image comes into my mind. Sorry, Aries is fluffing. I gave him a tiny rug so he can fluff it because he likes to fluff rugs. But unfortunately, it's really loud. But he has just like a 3-foot oval now that is his to fluff. I took out the big, huge 12-foot Persian rug. Sorry, but since you hear it, I feel like I should tell you what's going on. Oh, baby, Aries, come on now. Just hop up on your couch, love. No, he's saying, nope, mama gave that to me. 11D8, I'm sending so much love to Buddy. Please let me know how he's doing. What was his surgery for? I'm sorry, you guys. I just noticed that comment, and oh my God, I am so sorry, sweetheart. I am absolutely sending also a big, huge hug to you. I know how that feels as a mama. I'm sorry, my love. I'm thinking really good thoughts for both of you. He sits here, our King of Swords sits here, and he's kind of in a moment of stillness. He's obviously in his thoughts, in his mind. He could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and he's thinking possibly about a Leo, a feminine. She could hail from a different culture than he does. In these specific messages, we try to go with as much detail as we can. So I will say, oftentimes, someone who's in the King of Swords energy, they could work in an industry, in a field where they have a lot of responsibility. They could wear a uniform, wear a name badge. She may work similarly in a career path that has a lot of responsibility, but hers could be like dealing with people, with animals. She may be, I mean, if you're able to connect with a horse and you know, as a little bitty human can control a several 1,000-pound animal, you know, talk about like being someone who has a certain like persona of power and responsibility and leadership, right? So both of them could have the same energy to them, but in very different vibes, right? Very different career paths. She may work like outdoors. He might be in like more of a business setting or something, but he's thinking heavily about her right now. And I don't know in what capacity, because part of him is bugged. Part of him is bothered. Maybe because she's so free, so wild, and he can't control her. And I say that only because he's sideways. He's not a full king upright. Now, that can be someone who's a little on the karmic side. So they're having some not great traits show up, like jealousy, like, the desire to control just a little bit. And he's met somebody who's an alpha just like him. And that could be really tough for him. He can't get like her to behave in any particular way. She's going to be her own person, and he knows that, and it's at half respect and then half frustration, because I don't know if he knows what to do with someone who's just as powerful and just as independent as he is. We've got the Temperance card. It is sideways. It's crazy because it's like, I know she's my perfect match, and it's also like, I never thought I'd meet me and have to face my, like, kind of some of my own unbending traits, and now she has some of those same unbending traits in her. I can't stop her. She's headstrong. She'll do what she needs to do. She'll make her own decisions. She's used to making her own decisions. She's used to being out there. Like, she doesn't ask other people, do I have permission to do this? She doesn't ask other people, do you support me? She's like, you got to move on out of the way, because I got to take the steps forward the way I do in my life. She's used to, she could be somebody who's been on her own, like, much of her life. Someone who's been just in that power position. Maybe she's had to protect others. Maybe she's had to make good decisions. Maybe she had to grow up fast. Maybe she's always been in a leadership position. Oh, 11:8, you angel. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. But I want to send something back to you and your buddy. This just feels like she's in this incredible energy of, like, she has her power. He's the one focused on her. And we have the Strength card again. And he's like, I wish she would ride toward me and wrap her dragon wings around me. I wish she'd let me wrap my dragon wings around her. I'm as strong as she is too, and I wish that she would ride directly toward me. And then instead of being at odds with me, I wish she would come toward me. I don't even know if they're at odds with each other. I think he might be at odds with her because she's strong. Every bit as strong as him. Strong-willed, independent, probably doesn't really need anybody kind of attitude, which isn't true. We all need somebody, right? We're social creatures. The proof that we all need somebody is we all had to be born by another human first off. In fact, two people had to get us here, right? So we all are a product of, like, collective. We're not like little single-celled organisms that just float around and literally don't need anything else. We begin our life as a product of others. So of course, inherently, we have a need for others. But I will still say within that spectrum, there are certainly people that are more independent and used to, like, making their decisions and just going with life without necessarily, like, seeking validation and stuff like that. And I think that's a blessing and a curse. I think that is so much of a just the energy of, let me give to a person that I care about, let me receive from a person that I care about. I want that too. And he's the one, I'm going to say, who's like, I don't want to say who's cracking first, because this isn't a competition about who doesn't need somebody more, but he is in a place where it's like, I want her though. Oh my God. AC, thank you so much. AC has just gifted 20 more memberships. At the end, I'll go back and I'll read all of these. I'm going to try to stay in the story right now so I don't disrupt it too much, but oh my God, AC, thank you. You are so generous. We've got this Two of Pentacles. He wants to be in harmony with her. And I think he's realizing that he can't be irritated or jealous or any of those things about who she is, because in fact, if anything, maybe once upon a time, she wanted to be in a relationship with him or be really, like, connected to him. And maybe he was like, I'm still in an independent phase of my life. Now he's shifting, saying, I want her to come home and, like, be with me. I want to, like, wake up slow on Sunday mornings and cuddle. And here she's out riding horses and, doing equestrian stuff all around the globe. And, maybe she's in a very active phase of her life and he just kind of wants her all to himself, is how it's starting to look. Look, it feels like he wants her to himself for the right reasons, but there's also this twinge of jealousy popping up. I don't even know if these two are together, though, first off. This all feels to me kind of like he's just recognizing all of this. Okay, let me take a look at her a little closer. So he sees her as a strength card, and she too sees herself as a strength card. Oh, Three of Swords and the Woman of Cups. Okay, so hold on. She is somebody who has known plenty of heartbreaks. I don't know why I'm feeling like she could have been like, she could have served in the military. She could have served overseas. She could have like traveled the globe a bit. She maybe has had huge experiences in her life. Her life has not just been made up of like, career and relationship and it kind of, I'm going to say she's had more adventures and she's had more like experiences that have really tested her. You don't start out with a strength card for no reason, but she's also really warm, really soft, really loving. She's exuding like powerful feminine energy, like the best kind of feminine strength, because it's both the nurturing side, which is kind of, the feminine energy, the very essence of it, but also the strength. I mean, think of it like this. The female body can make a baby. You're building a freaking person. Like, how strong is that, right? But at the same time, you're nurturing it and you're loving it. And so it's like, it's the best of both worlds. It's the strength and it's also the gentleness and the sensitivity. So we have her in like her very best energy. She has also, though, had tremendous heartbreak. And I feel like she may speak more than one language, or she has like something about like where she lives now may not be where she was born. Or I don't know, there's something about like her feeling detached. Like she's not in a place that is necessarily like harmonious, or maybe she never had peace in her home and maybe she still stayed strong and really loving. I feel like she's like a ferocious, how do I want to say it? Like a warrior woman, but at the same time, super sweet. Look at the Tower. She's not full of ego at all. And in fact, for all her strength, if anything, I think right now what she'd love is to be able to speak soft and nurture a romance and have a connection and maybe be more at home and have those same like kind of simple things like, let's go grocery shopping together on a Saturday and do some meal prep together and let's hang out and let's just do day-to-day stuff. I don't feel, as much as she looks like this wild adventurer, I feel like she's in a place where what she would thrive in right now is some kind of like gentleness and love and support. It feels like that's what she needs more than anything right now in her life. Three of Pentacles, yeah, companionship, somebody to help her. In this case, like, it's like she wants to have a farm. She wants to have, a life where she's in one place, maybe less wild adventure and more like I'd love to, whatever, grow a garden and have a farm. We literally see a red barn, a farm, some land. If you're going to do something like this, you're going to be working the land, you're going to be farming, you're going to be home, you're really grounded, you're in one location. So as much as he knows her as like this wild adventurer, there is a whole nother side of her that is craving like a home base and putting down roots and building and growing. Does he know any of this about her? She may literally be wanting to find property. She may be, like fantasizing about a farm. Does he know any of this? We have the King of Wands sideways, which can be shared energy, or it can be, it's what he wants too. He's very passionate. He's very warm-hearted. Everything about her, remember I said it's like he wishes that she would be like planted more in one place with him and be, all cuddly, because that's what he's ready for. He wants to give warmth also. Look, maybe these two met each other when they were in very high-powered jobs and, they were both, kind of clashing because they were like alpha decision makers. And some time has passed and he only knows that side of her. And he's like wishing that she would like want to snuggle with him because he wants to slow down and not maybe be so much of his alpha career path and now instead be more heart-centered. But what's crazy is she totally wants to be in her like feminine flow and be, like really emotional. Basically, both of them are wanting to be a little different version of themselves and who they used to be. This is not them getting older and slowing down. This is them getting into a phase of their lives where it's more conducive to the idea of being in a relationship. Look, he wants to move toward her with an offer of love and see if he could date her this time, if he was there to give to her, if she was there to give to him. There's this beautiful energy of like, I would like very much to be able to do this with someone. The time for love and marriage is what is at the forefront. Like both of these characters, look, there's a lot to be said for, living an independent life and travel in the world and jet setter lifestyle and adventure and pouring your energy into whatever your life is made up of that you want to battle for, fight for, explore, experience, and you're not in the mood for a long-term relationship. And then there's phases of our life where you want a home. You want someone to be at home with. You want to build long-standing legacy. You want a person who's like going to share in the little day-to-day stuff like buying socks when they get holy. Like you want that. And I feel like they're both actually in the same space. This could be wonderful. This could be like, okay, he's ready for all of this, but he's been sitting, like I said at the beginning, he's like sitting there on the edge of the bed. And it's like somebody who's just been like kind of consumed with a thought process, which obviously we discovered was him thinking about her. The thing is, he's thinking about her, but about what he wants from her. And he's frustrated because he doesn't know how to get that from her. So I'm thinking that these two are not currently together because he's in the place of saying, I'd like to move toward her, in a romantic sense and see. But the thing is, I want her for a long-term partner. I don't want to just come in and date her if she's not ready to settle down. I don't want to do that. Oh my God, AC, thank you. Oh, my goodness. AC just gifted 10 more memberships, you guys. Just so you know, if your name just popped up in green in here, that is all courtesy of AC. Oh my gosh, that is 30 memberships she just gifted to everyone tonight. I cannot believe that, AC. Thank you. Thank you so much, sweetheart. We've got the 8 of Cups here. The 8 of Cups is all about turning around, coming back, seeing if, like, would she want this again? This is what I think him sitting down the edge of the bed and trying to figure out is all about. He's trying to figure, would she want this back with me? Would she want to try it again with me? Once upon a time, what did you want with him? Once upon a time, feminine. Did you want something serious with him back then, or were you not? 10 of Pentacles. She may have wanted to be like in a power couple relationship. She may have wanted to talk about forever once upon a time. Then why do you see her as a Strength card? The Sun, God, he just keeps seeing her as a Leo. She may have led the way in the conversation about like, what kind of life they could have together and stuff. And maybe at the time he was like, wow, she's like got these big plans and she's kind of a mover shaker and, all of this energy. But now he wants all that with her. Everything that she maybe talked about. She may have had big plans for her own career though too, but wanted to still have like a power couple partnership. And she was real happy, real gregarious, real outgoing, bright as the sun. But at the same time, she wanted to be really happy. She wanted a really happy relationship. What did you want back then? King of Swords. Page of Swords. He wanted to be aloof. He wanted to do a relationship. He almost kind of wanted to watch her from a distance, engage with her, but then watch from a distance. What is that about? What do you mean you wanted to watch her from a distance? Hanged Man, 10 of Wands. He was straight up not ready for any kind of long-term relationship back then. He maybe didn't know if she was for real. Is she really that sweet? Is she really that loving? Is she really that warm? Is she really that gregarious? Is she really somebody who would want to have like a genuine long-term relationship? Okay, so I got that part wrong a little bit. I didn't realize now what he wants is all that love. It's like he's been spying on her all this freaking time. And now he's like, she really is that warm. She really is that like driven, and she's kind of leadership, but she's also as warm as the sun. And I could have had her arms around me. And I would give anything now to like have her offer me that once again, that, you know, we could be a power couple. We could, you know, have a great life together. We could have this awesome energy. They didn't believe her back then. They didn't know if she was a real deal. Now it's like, she is a real deal. I've been spying on her a long time now. I've been watching her from a distance. They were afraid to believe that she was legit because I think they were scared they'd look stupid if they believed that she was at warm and then it turned out like she was playing him for a fool. Is that what this boiled down to? He was worried. As much as he wanted to believe that this was legitimate, he didn't back then. So he wasn't really ready to open up his heart. That's why he's the King of Swords sideways too, kind of giving her a side eye, kind of not sure. He didn't believe her. He didn't believe somebody could be that straightforward, that fearless, that loving, that straightforward. But he didn't know what she came from. He didn't know she'd been devastated and heartbroken. When you've been through the ringer, you either end up as one of two things. You end up, you know, fearful, or you end up fearless because you've already been down to the bottom of the barrel. You've already been screwed over. You've already had the worst happen. So big deal. You may as well, you know, what you got to fear. You already have been down to the bottom of the barrel and you're still standing. So you may as well go after what you want and be who you really are, because some people are still going to lie to you, cheat on you, and hurt you no matter what. So whether you're awesome and fearless or whether you're fearful and taking forever to get to know somebody, like the outcome could still be the same. So you may as well not hold anything back. And I kind of think that's her attitude. Like, why would I live in any kind of fear? I've already had some awful things I've had to overcome. And obviously I'm strong enough to handle it. So if there's a choice to like laugh and love and enjoy my life and not let my ego get in the way and just say how I really feel, then that's what I'm going to do. She's pretty damn authentic. And I don't think he was able to believe that. I did not realize that that's what this has been all about. He couldn't believe that she was who she seems. Why do you know that that's who she is now? What has changed? I mean, we know you've been spying on her for quite a while. What's changed? We have a Page of Cups sideways. I don't know if this is, these are the children. I don't know if there's something where he's seen a glimpse of like her inner child, and he's seen that, oh, that really is the real her. That's who she would have been as a little person. He's seen some kind of sweetness in her. This is somebody who's like, you know, emotionally, like, this is like the sweet little toddler who walks up to you and like takes out their pacifier and offers it to you in case you want to suck on it too. Like, she probably was that kind of baby, you know. And he's like, she would literally share her pacifier. That might just be the kind of person she is. It feels like, and it's so cute. Baby thinks that's a nice offer. Like, it's so spitty. I don't think I'm gonna suck on that, but thank you. I don't know why. I just get that idea of her. We've got that Four of Cups sideways. Really nice energy of like, this is him realizing that, look, it's not an illusion after all. The swans mate for life. She's in white. She has some pretty pure intentions. If anything, maybe he regrets not just believing her when he first met her, not just understanding that's actually who and what she was the first time he met her. Yes, she's strong, but she's also got a kind of a wild streak that's just very upfront. She also has her own pains and her own life story, but she doesn't really let it hold her back. And she's pretty much straightforward. I think there is definitely a regret that he didn't see what was right in front of his face. Maybe he was used to being around people that lie. And so, you know, it's like, this has got to be a game, right? This has got to be an act. He's been doing some considerable spying on her for a considerable amount of time. Does she want anything to do with him at this point? Six of Swords, Four of Pentacles. She's really had to move on from whatever situation there was with him. Remember, when somebody goes off and is spying on you, it means that they're not really around you. And keep in mind, he also had the Hanged Man. So he withdrew from her. And I don't really know that she had any choice but to let this go. Let it go, withdraw, let him go. We see her sailing onward, but it's also like, when somebody wants to run from you, you let them go, right? You don't chase them. They're obviously running because they're scared. So don't scare them anymore by chasing. I just feel like she just went ahead and released them. But on her side, feminine, you seem to be very in the energy of like ready for love. We have Temperance. On one hand, she's really peaceful. There's the Swans again. She is absolutely ready to meet the love of her life. And she's kind of here like looking out to see, like welcoming in whoever is in my greatest and highest good. I'm ready to love somebody. I'm ready. Is that Queen? Can anybody find me somebody to love? Somebody. Yeah, I feel like there's a really lovely energy here. She's kind of keeping her little goggles on. She's keeping her eyes peeled in case she meets somebody that. All right, guys. Sorry, I know that buffered and froze for a second. I'm sorry about that. Such an inconvenience. I'm so sorry that happens. But we have this energy, and I've had to move all the cards all over the place. Hang on, let me get her back where she belongs. She's on my right hand. She's been keeping her eyes peeled in case she meets that someone special. It's like she's sensing, I think somebody's going to kind of show up in my life. She's a white bird coming in, and she's all in white. I do think that she's got some pretty pure intentions, always has, and I think she's welcoming in somebody who has the same intentions toward her. I don't think for a moment she thinks it would still be him, that King of Swords. I don't think she's assuming that. If anything, we have Virgo energy here on that Hermit. She's kind of like in a peaceful place as a single individual, but also having had some deep contemplation and knowing what she's ready for next. Look, we look at the Hermit's journey sometimes and we always think, oh, that's when somebody's by themselves. It could be lonely. It could be something that, like I'm on this slow walk by myself, but it can also be when a character is actually like connected to the flow of the universe and their inner North Star. And I feel like she already knows, if I'm ready to give my love and share it with somebody, and I'm open to whomever is the right person for me, and I'm kind of, keeping my eye on the horizon, it probably won't be too long before I meet somebody. She may think that there will be some lonely Virgo who shows up in her world pretty soon. She may be keeping her eyes open for a wayward traveler. And we do see the bird flying in as well, and the white polar bear. So she may assume that somebody is now on their way into her, but she's expecting maybe someone older than her. She's expecting somebody that's like, kind of like a lonely soul. We have the Sage of Support, which is the Hierophant. And I just love this deck so much. I love the little baby gorillas. And there's one more that she's carrying here. Both of these cards have like a profound sense of like connection to one's higher self and inner wisdom. She is in a very placid, very comfortable mental headspace, and she feels like, universe, I trust you. I know that something is coming in for me, and I know that it's coming in soon. I feel like there will be some maybe lonely, wise soul that I get to cross paths with, and you know what? It'll be great. And I'll learn from them, and we'll have some kind of like spiritual journey together. Here she is again with that Queen of Cups. She's very much welcoming in love. She's very much welcoming in this energy of softness and love. We've already seen her as a Queen of Cups. We've seen her as a Leo. We've seen her, in multiple energies of strength and peace and flexibility and calm and humbleness. She's been an Aries, she's been a Leo twice, she's been Virgo, she's been Taurus, she's been all water sign and Sagittarius as well. So she's very well rounded, but she's ready to get grounded with another person. I gotta ask, if she's this ready and she's this, magnetic energy of the feminine that's going to be a huge gravitational pull. And even though she's let go of them, they have clearly finally wrapped their head around who she is. So we got to go back over to him. Are you ready to do something about this now? Since you spent some pretty hefty time spying on her, are you ready to take some kind of action? 7 of Pentacles, which is usually, yes. Something about this golden fleece. It's almost like, yes, I'm ready to give my energy to her because I know she'll kind of turn me into something better. It feels like they maybe sheepishly want to come toward her. 4 of Pentacles. I'm sorry I'm going to say this, but I think that they were being pretty piggish with their, I'm not going to tell her anything too much about me. I'm going to watch her and wait and spy on her for a while. I feel like they're kind of sheepish about the fact that they did this. That's what I would say. We got that Strength card again, but this time in the reverse. They're basically going to have to say, I was scared. I was scared to believe that you were who you showed yourself to be. And it took me a really long time. And I've been kind of piggishly hoarding my energy away from you because I was scared to believe that you were the real deal. And now it's been all this time, and I've still been spying on you, and I realize you're the real deal. Are you really coming toward her now? Is that where you're at? Curiosity of somatics, which is the Page of Pentacles. This is the offer. This is do you think we could turn a new page? They're coming in kind of timid, like a little mouse. They are, I would say, in this place where they wonder, can I really ask her for this? I mean, it's kind of rich coming from me since I've been spying instead of dealing with her, and I basically thought she couldn't be for real for a really long time. But, they weren't so trusting. They were not so trusting, that's for sure. Now, I kind of feel like she doesn't know a whole lot about them, and she had already moved on from them. They could be older now. They could have some wrinkles around their eyes. Just because he's got some here, it's hard to see in this lighting, but if you're seeing it from my perspective, we can see that he's aged some. We have that 7 of Swords. This energy of I think that he's had plenty of lies told to him in his life, and maybe he's kind of ashamed that he assumed she was foxy too. She was probably lying. She's probably playing mind games with me. Maybe he comes from a long line of family of liars where they play little head games on each other. So, what do you do when all you've ever known is lies? Then you meet somebody authentic. It's so foreign, I could understand him trying to explain that. And again, being kind of embarrassed, but he does need to go ahead and explain that. I was afraid maybe you weren't truthful in who you were because you were really great. And I've only known people who pretend to be great, not people that really were. I can understand that. 8 of Swords. Yeah, he was really stuck in his head for a very, very, very long time. I feel like he has had a lot of sleepless nights wondering, could she be for real? He's been caught in her web for a long time. We've got this, he was never going to move fast in this because this should be our fastest moving night, the Knight of Swords, but he just couldn't. He couldn't do it. He couldn't figure out what's her game, what's her angle. Yeah, there's a lot to maybe say, I'm sorry, I was so convinced that you were playing some very elaborate game of being a great person when really you were a secret monster. And now I realize maybe I was a secret monster for not being able to believe in anything or anybody. Okay, so with this, if you're really coming in to like communicate all this to her, if you really are at that place, what is potentially the outcome on this story? We've got the Star and we've got the Lovers. Well, thankfully, maybe just because of the type of person that she actually is, it's like, oh, okay, well, so you see me different now and you're going to behave differently now. This is the year of the snake. I mean, we can all shed an old skin. We can all change. This is, I mean, it's a really big change, right? The difference from day to night. Like, wow, you mean our connection could be so different? I keep thinking that they're also from different cultures, and maybe his cultural background was so different than hers. Maybe a certain amount of her, like, just kind of like openness and her energy, maybe it comes from her cultural background as much as any other part of her. I'm trying to find that card. And maybe that also, he just wasn't like accustomed to, you know, like there's some really great like translated sayings, you know, from different cultures around the world, and it's, you know, like oh, c'est la vie, like the French, you know. There's just some stuff like, such is life, you know, what are you gonna do, it's life. And maybe he's a little bit more uptight, and maybe she's learned how to roll with things a little bit better than him, and that could have also been like a subtle difference. And now he's like, she really does operate that way. There's certain stuff she can let roll off her back, and maybe, God, I'd like to actually step into her world. Maybe she can give me some training on how to be a little bit more like that. She is a real gem in his eyes, and she is definitely somebody that, I mean, if she's going to give him another chance this time to actually be lovers, she is, I think, the truest thing he's ever come across. So I don't know. This looks really, really good for the two of them. It really looks good, even though it's taken him a long time to wrap his head around something as simple as, oh wow, she's a great person. Like, that's it. No secret agendas. Just she's wonderful, and she's actually simply wonderful. You know, how sad that is the thing. Is like, oh, I don't know that I believe that. Wonderful, whatever. You know, she's playing a game. It's like, oh my God. She gives him a gift. And he's like, why? What's wrong with it? Why don't you want it? Is it broken? It's like, no, I was just giving you like a gift. You know, I feel like he can't accept that somebody could just be like that. Anyway, I think he's wrapping his head around the fact that she really is just like that. It just speaks volumes of how much he has not had that kind of energy around him. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this one here. But before I go, now let me backtrack just a little bit and say, oh my God, thank you again. So this storyline got too long and I can't backtrack all the way to the beginning of the chat. So I didn't get to read off the first 20 names that AC just gifted memberships to. But I can see only from where AC gifted an additional 10. So at this point, there are 30 of you whose names turned green in the live chat. That is all courtesy of AC. That means you are all members because she just gifted you memberships and bought everybody memberships, which is unbelievably kind. Thank you so much. AC, if you guys don't know, AC has gifted, I can't possibly keep track at this point. I mean, I would say we've got to be well above 100 just from AC alone. There's many other people that gift like that as well. AC has just kind of like been crazy on fire lately. You're so incredibly generous, AC. And if I may pull a card for you, and also 11D8, I just want to give you a little bit of love and support, if you guys don't mind. I know AC always says anytime, but I still like to check and just make sure that's okay with you. I would like to say thank you to both of you and also send lots of love to everybody out there. You guys are so awesome. I absolutely love, love, love our evening crew. It's such a fun, kind of relaxing thing at the end of the night. I so enjoy you guys.
And it's such a lovely, I feel like I host a little dinner party and all my friends come. It's really nice to see everybody tonight. Mirabuka, hi honey, Kita, Jenizen, Travis, Queen B, G, Jessica H. I used to love him. Rose A, wonderful to see you, Rose. Apple Holo, hey hey. I agree, snuggling is the best. Thank you, RS. I have fun with the specific messages too. I always feel like they're just a little bit different than the others, and I like that. I'm just scrolling through. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to say hi to everybody that was in the very beginning because I can't see the chat all the way back because I've been on for too long. But hi, Roxanne. Ski 80. I hear you, Jenizen. Yes. So Intuit 333. Wonderful to see you, hon. Hi, Sonara. NH. Thank you, love. Wonderful to see you. Slave Princess. Great to see you. April Fresh. Seven Pit. Great to see you, hon. It's Allie Online. Wonderful to catch you. Hi, Christina. Oh, yeah, the Libra was a fun one, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed that one. I know it was about time that we got a good Libra one, huh? They tend to be kind of stressy lately, and that was a good one. Victoria Rose Noir, hey, hey. Oh, good, sweetheart. I hope you keep healing. Contented Tiger, welcome, sweetheart. I love that 1188. Sorry, guys, I'm still just scrolling through. Hallelujah, nice to see you. I know it's almost Friday, huh? Well, I'm not quite on Friday yet, but soon. Decoded, great to catch you also, love. Miss So the Peaceful Observer, always lovely to see you. Hi, our Joyce. Thank you, hun. I love that, Decoded. I want it, get it. Trina Dowell, the Creative Fae. Hey, guys. And thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I forget to say that. But thank you so much. Fancy Pants, love your name. Hey, Gypsy. 11 to 8. Thank you, sweetie. I know, 11 to 8. That's so true. AC is the membership fairy godmother. She truly is, isn't she? Okay, wonderful. AC, I'm going to pull you some cards right now. I love that, 11 to 8. All right, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here. Mama Eagle, hi. Happy Beltane to you as well. Sexy Senator Sag, hey, hey. All right, you guys. AC, I'm going to pull some for you right now, and then 11 to 8, if you don't mind, I'll pull one or two for you as well, sweetheart. All right, AC, here we go. Hi, T-Baby. All right, here we go. So, AC, we have the Justice card, and we have the Four of Pentacles. I always think this is when the universe goes, I saw that. Oh, but I saw that. And it's like, even the television set has like, telenovela drama coming on, and it's like, yep, this is a drama that played out. It's like confirmation that somebody wasn't behaving well. We have this masculine whose head is all in the little covering, and they're kind of standing there like, I didn't really do anything wrong. And the feminine is like, are you serious? And she's like turned away, like, it's exactly like, an unnecessary drama on the movie. This not cool, not cool. And I think she withdrew. She withdrew her gems and her rubies and her emeralds and her golden palace and said, I don't get cheated. I don't get treated bad. So she did the pertinent thing and said, I'm worth gems and gold and rubies, and you can't get all this good, all this yum unless you know what it takes to earn the right to get into the Golden Palace. And you have been kicked out of the palace for the moment. So Four of Pentacles, we have a feminine who's withdrawn. And she did that on purpose because somebody wasn't acting right. And I think that is, she's very loving, but she's on the phone to somebody else. This could be a divine feminine who's like, trust me, there's other fish in the sea. I don't need to deal with somebody who doesn't know how to act in the palace. You can leave the palace. I'll keep the walls of my palace nice and high, and then I will start talking to somebody else, somebody who makes me laugh, somebody that's enjoyable. We see the dolphin. Dolphins are one of the few species that also, they procreate for fun and enjoyment, not just to make babies like humans. And so that's kind of rare. So we definitely see an element of like sensuality on this. And we have, she's single and ready to mingle in this. We've got a cat. Cats are always going to be independent. And this is a white cat, and she's in white as well. It's like, here's the thing. I don't tolerate stuff that doesn't work for me, that isn't fair to me. I know when to withdraw, and then I know when to change lanes. And that's what she's done. So we have a feminine right now who's in a place of, I'm going to call in and literally like putting in the phone call to the universe, like, send me somebody that is as fun to talk to and as delightful as a dolphin. Send me somebody that is loving. Send me somebody that, oh, what's a song? I want to know what love is, and I want you to show me. I can't think who sings it right now. Is that Glenn Fry? I don't know. It's 80s song. Queen of Swords. I do feel like this queen is, she learned something about boundaries, about how to call in what she wants, and then how to actually continue to be loving, but not overgiving of herself. This is somebody who's the best of both worlds at this point. Sometimes the relationships that treat us wrong also do something wonderful for us, which is it treats us how to impose the boundaries that we actually want so that we receive what we actually wanted in the first place. Like, let's put it this way. It's like learning language skills. The best way to pick up a language is go immerse yourself in someone else's culture, right? If there's nobody around you that speaks the language you're familiar with, your ear for survival has to start listening to everything else that seems like it doesn't make sense. And then just like a baby, you watch, and pretty soon you realize, okay, people say this when they hand over money, and then you know that that's a, thank you, goodbye kind of exchange. Okay, now you learn that word. Then you watch and you see, they say a word and they point to something in a restaurant, and it's like, aha, that's okay. So that's the word for sandwich. Now I know how to order a sandwich and say thank you when I pay. And you start to, like, the same way we absorb anything from around us as children, that's what a character starts doing when they start to get immersed in something. And sometimes bad relationships are like that. It's like an immersive training program. We learned the red flags that we don't like. We learned the things they taught us. We got immersed in BS. And we're done with the BS. But now we know so much more about it. So we just learned through kind of, definitely maybe a rocky experience, but we also learned invaluable lessons because now we speak a different language, the language of bullshit. And we also know how not to have to tangle with that anymore. We learned how to shut it down before it even gets started. We learned the red flags, and we learned how to put the boundaries in place before somebody climbs over them, or we learned how not to let them into the gates of the empire because we had this immersive experience with somebody who didn't behave well enough. They shouldn't have been allowed in the empire in the first place. Now we don't let the wrong ones in the empire. And when we do let somebody in the empire, we're real quick to still gently but firmly lay out ground rules if things start to get just a little bit boundary pushy. Honestly, not an easy thing to do, but no queen has an easy life to become a queen. And she's on her way to becoming an empress, right? She's already 2 queens. She needs 2 more life experiences, and she'll be a full-blown empress. But the only people that become emperors and empresses and queens and kings are the ones who were already the pages and the knights. And those are the tough lessons that we have to get through. So she's doing really good. I know it's like putting a happy spin on somebody who didn't treat her well, but honestly, she's in a great space with this Nine of Pentacles in particular. This is a feminine who has so much personal value, and she knows it. She definitely has other lovers to practice with. Maybe the next one she meets, it won't just be fun practice. Maybe the next one will be, she's got at least 2 on the horizon to date. One that could be a really great lover and really great, emotionally, and the other one that could be really mentally stimulating. But the bottom line is, this is starting to feel pretty fun to be single, footloose, fancy free, and to have some great silky pajamas. I know she's in like silky, nice attire, like nice jammies here. I don't know. It looks like she's kind of living her best life right now. And she's worlds away from that immersive experience that was unpleasant. Like, this was a dry desert that she brought into her beautiful kingdom, and she's already pushed that out. And now we see her, like, her cards keep getting more colorful. They keep getting better. They keep getting full of new people to talk to, new people to think about, new people to love. While at the same time, she maintains that she has free time for herself. She's very much blossoming right now. And it is because of that past immersive experience. Look, this isn't to say that we can't, grow unless we go through tough things. But I will say, what if she wouldn't be the woman she is today had she not gone through that experience? Would she have ever blossomed into this gorgeous yellow rose? Would she have ever, gotten to the point that she is at today with her knowledge base if she hadn't had that experience that started the storyline out, right? This started the whole story going. So sometimes a really sucky thing is the ball that like gets the life path unfurling. I'm picturing like a big rolled up red carpet, and you got to give it a push, and then it starts to unfurl, and you're like, man, it was heavy. It was hard to get it here, but now that we've got it lined up, all we had to do is give it a shove, and then it unfurls, and then we have this glorious red carpet. And it's just like a life of luxury afterwards. But it was hard to get it there in the first place. We got a King of Cups. Oh my God. And we have the World card. This is really, really beautiful. This is somebody, we can't see his face yet. So we don't know exactly who he is yet, because he's busy still being crowned. So perhaps, much like her, having recently graduated to queendom, perhaps he's recently graduating to kingdom himself. This is a whole new beginning. This is the next chapter in life, in love. This is the next chapter. Also one that is like much more sensual. She hasn't got any pants on. So I'm going to say this is like enjoyable and frolicking and feeling really comfortable in one's own skin and one's own, like, to have a partner that seems transparent and seems emotionally available makes us able to be much more vulnerable as well. We already saw her as a Queen of Cups, and we see a King of Cups coming on in for her. So I don't know if this would be a perfect match, but in our life, there's a lot of perfect matches out there. But it looks like her next chapter, it's not happening yet, but her next chapter holds someone who could be a really lovely emotional match. Now, undoubtedly, she'll learn more things with this person. This is the next lesson in life, right? And that's what life is one cycle after another after another. The planet that we're on rotates around every 365 days a year. We get a birthday, we mark time and we mark cycles. And so this is her next cycle. But it's finally, I think she's coming up to one where it would be like compatible emotional satisfaction and joy. It's definitely her dolphin. So she's meeting her dolphin next. I loved that one. Absolutely love this one. And then let me just pull a card for you also, honey. I wanted to get you one, 11-8. All right, here we go. It is my pleasure, AC. Thank you again for all of your incredible generosity again and again to everybody and to me as well. Thank you, sweetheart. Lots of hugs to you also. I hope your week has been better. 11 to 8, we've got the Six of Semantics, which is the Six of Pentacles. Got a lovely energy between, in this case, human and creature. There's a lot of like equal giving here, equal sharing. And this is like, the Six of Pentacles is like, it's the energy of what we bring to the table and what is reciprocated, and that doubles the fun, doubles the joy. So this is definitely someone who's got, camels have like a unique adaptation to allow them to be in very inhospitable climates as well. They're meant for this. The tough, they know how to journey across the desert, and in some ways, they're more readily adapted than humans are. Humans kind of had to learn from watching animals sometimes how to do the same thing that they're adapted for naturally. We're pretty weak, right? We haven't got fur. We haven't got any of the special adaptations that, like, how polar bears have like black skin, but then they have 2 layers of hollow fur. They're not actually white at all. That's amazing, right? Animals seem to be much better acclimated to different regions, whereas us humans, we all just got like this thin skin, right? But when we pair our skill sets, because our skills don't come in like physical adaptations, our skills come from our brain and our opposable thumbs. But when we put that together with someone else or something else that has different skills than what we've got, or different adaptations than what we've got, man, we're incredibly powerful together. And so this just looks like, it's just a different way to think about what we bring to the table versus what somebody else brings to the table, and how we actually can become more when we work with something. We've got the experience of feelings, which is, this is that Knight of Wands, or excuse me, Knight of Cups. So we've got, funny, we go from the desert to the sea. So we definitely are having like an increase in a flood of, emotions, and a flood of, in this case, joyful. This bodes really well for positive, forward motion. And sure enough, he's again with an animal, and he's riding on the dolphin this time, not on a surfboard. So it's very much, in both of these, it's like, we can't swim like dolphins, but we can, ride with them and go on a ride with them. This keeps feeling like we have a character that has extra, like they know how to like use the skills that they have, but then also how to welcome in the energy of others and of the other like creatures that walk this earth or swim this earth. We have a 3 of Swords. If ever there were a time where our character maybe needs to call in the support of like their spirit animals, it is right now. And it's saying that there's a ton of support right now. This is like, it's a big journey at the moment, but we've got this snake who is reassuring our character that, this too shall pass. All this is we're shedding, an emotional moment, or we're shedding an experience, and then we will re-emerge from this. Snakes are pretty amazing because, even their eyes molt, and they have to like rub their eyes on like rocks and stuff to get I did not know that. I read that and I was like, are you kidding me? That was the coolest and grossest thing ever, because it's almost like thinking that we can see things with a different lens. That's what that means to me. If we shed even our eyes, could you imagine, like, wow, we can see things in like completely with new shiny eyeballs, And so I just feel like this is definitely going to look very different. 4 of Cups can be the energy of illusion. And oftentimes it's illusion. It can be boredom. It can be the feeling of missed opportunities. But right now she's got all pokey things around her. Cactus, and she's got this little porcupine. I know, I wish it was clear enough to see, but it's like a little porcupine being handed over. She's like, no, thank you. I've had enough pokey things around me right now. But this says not everything is as painful as it seems. Not everything is as sharp as it seems. I feel like there's a lot of support, and there's a lot of positive things to look forward to here. Beautiful. Healer's intuition, and we are bringing in the High Priestess and the ancestors to support her, and a ton of crystals around her at the same time. I think our character already knows that this difficult moment is going to pass, and that there is a ton of support right now and a ton of like positive forward motion. but it's like, I do actually already know this. I know the ancestors there for me, and I can feel this energy is surrounding me and kind of like hugging me and lifting me right now. It's just, look, we all got to be able to feel how we feel. And then we let go of that. And it's like, I knew, this too shall pass. I know that. Of course. And High Priestess always knows this is, but a moment in time. It is very nice to see this kind of gentleness, this kind of support, and this kind of reassurance that this isn't going to last. The thing that hurts isn't going to last. It's going to get a lot better. Let me get one last one for outcome. Curiosity of thoughts. This is, obviously we have kind of like this wonderful yellow white bird flying in. We have this joyful kid, again, flying the airplane. And this is the page of swords. So it's like, this is just going to be a moment where there's some learning that comes out of this. This will be an experience where our character has gathered more information out of it. And then they'll be wiser for this. But there's a lot of supportive energy, and then just a lot of knowledge that comes out of this. And that's kind of almost out of any situation, especially tough ones. We learn so much, and we learn more about ourselves, and we learn about our intuition a little bit more. And I just feel like all said and done, it will be an experience that our character walks away with greater comprehension also of their incredible intuition. This feels like a character is very, very attuned and very connected to their intuition after all. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. AC, thank you again. 11D8, sweetheart, thank you. And I am thinking so much of all of you right now, especially right now, 11D8. I'm sending you all my love. All right, you guys. I am going to call it a night, and then I will see you guys tomorrow. Christina, thank you, love. Thanks again, Jenizen. I love that, AC. It is my pleasure, 11D8. Sending you lots of love, honey. AC, that's such a great song. I'm a magnet. I attract it. Feel the love coming to me. I have it. What is his name again? I always forget his name, and that's such a great song. If you guys do not know this song, is it something Heart? Oh God, I can't think of his name. But this guy did this, like, it almost sounds like you think he's going to do like the whisper song or something. It sounds like it's going to be like a hip hop, because he's like half whispering it. And it's kind of like, is this a sexy song? And it's like, no, it's all about manifestation. Abel Heart, thank you so much, AC. It is a great song. It's called Magnet. And AC was just quoting that. And it's like so like an addicting song, but it's really fun. And it's really kind of like, you would think it's going to be sexy, dirty lyrics, and instead it's like super positive. So it's really great. Yes, I know, RS. I love the whisper song. It's super dirty. But Abel Hart is not singing a dirty song. He's singing Magnet, and it's all about manifestation. So sorry, my mind went to a dirty place, but I have to liken it to that only because there's that whisper. So Sierra Clark, great to see you, honey. Sweet dreams, honey. Oh yeah, Kivi Shah. It's really fun. It's really great. I like his music. It's I've never heard anyone sing a manifestation song like that before. So really fun. All right. Good night. I used to love him. Sweet dreams. Good night, RS. Good night, Travis. All right, you guys. Take care.